Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and totally demystify Italian grammar. Seriously, instead of looking at it as some giant, overwhelming rulebook, we're going to treat it like a really fun set of building blocks. Because, once you figure out how the pieces snap together, the whole language literally just opens up for you. So here is our roadmap. Okay, section 1, the foundation, Italian nouns. Right off the bat, the core rule here is that absolutely everything has a gender. Usually masculine nouns end in O. Think of everyday words like vino or pomodoro. On the flip side, feminine nouns typically end in A, like cena, or they use specific suffixes like zione, such as stazione. Now, nouns ending in E, well, they can be either, which is something you just kind of learn as you go. Oh, and foreign words, things like bar or sport, those are almost always masculine. So what about making these plurals? It all comes down to changing that final vowel. To make plurals, just remember that a masculine O shifts to an I, meaning pranzo becomes pranzi. A feminine A shifts to an E, making birra into birre. And here is a super handy shortcut from the text. If a noun ends in E, regardless of whether it's masculine or feminine, it is always going to shift to an I in the plural. Always. So padre becomes padri and notte becomes notti. Moving right along, section 2, the exceptions, breaking rules. Okay, you gotta watch out for these linguistic plot twists. We've got some common tricksters where masculine words actually end in A, words like problema or tema. Even though they end in A, they are 100% masculine. Then, on the other side of things, we have feminine words ending in O, like mano, auto, radio, and foto. These are usually just shortened versions of longer feminine words, so they hold on to their feminine gender. You really just have to memorize these tricksters. And the exceptions keep coming with some totally irregular plurals. Take uomo, meaning man, which completely shifts to uomini, or uovo, egg, which is masculine singular but actually flips to feminine plural, becoming uova. Crazy, right? But here is a rule you are absolutely gonna love. Accented words like café, città, and menu, they stay exactly the same in the plural. Un café, due café. It doesn't change. So simple, so efficient. All right, section 3, the partners, Italian articles.
So a noun can't just stand out there all alone. It needs an article. For definite articles, basically the equivalent of saying the, most masculine nouns use il, or e, as their plural, but pay attention to lo and its plural ye. These guys step in for some of the trickier sounds. If a masculine word starts with an S plus a consonant, like studente, or a Z, like zio, you've got to use lo and ye. Feminine nouns? Way simpler. It's just la for singular, lei for plural, and L' for literally any word starting with a vowel.
Now, when you want to say or an, the rules totally mirror what we just looked at. Let's hit section 4, the personality, Italian adjectives. Now for the fun part, adding personality using adjectives. And these must always agree with their partner noun in both gender and number. Most adjectives have 4 distinct endings. For instance, nuovo becomes nuova for feminine, nuovi for masculine plural, and nuove for feminine plural. But adjectives ending in e, like grande or inglese, they only have 2 forms. They end in e for both masculine and feminine singular, and they end in e for both masculine and feminine plural. And here's a really fun linguistic surprise straight from the source material. Certain colors, like blue, rosa, and viola, are completely invariable, meaning they never change their shape. A pink dress is un vestito rosa, and pink shoes are scarpe rosa. The adjective stays exactly the same regardless of gender or number. Honestly, it's a really nice little break for matching vowels. Let's wrap things up with section 5. Interactive quiz, test yourself. Okay, lightning round time. I'm going to read a singular noun and its article, and I want you to guess the plural out loud. First up, il problema. 3, 2, 1. I problemi. Did you get it? We use I because this is one of our sneaky masculine exceptions, ending in a. So the plural takes an e, and the masculine plural article is I. All right, next up. How do we pluralize la mano? Remember those rule breakers we talked about? Got your answer? Le mani. This one perfectly follows the feminine exception rule for words ending in o. The article shifts from la to le, and the noun mano shifts right to mani. Let's try a slightly trickier one. l'uomo. Think about the vowel sound and that irregular plural. Ready? Gli uomini. We're utilizing our special article li because it's a masculine plural starting with a vowel, combined with that totally irregular noun plural where uomo becomes uomini. Final question. Let's end on a high note. Il caffè. What happens here?
I caffè. The article changes from il to I, but the words café stays exactly the same. Remember, words ending in an accented vowel are wonderfully invariable in the plural. Seriously, one of the best shortcuts in Italian grammar.
You've officially mastered nouns, articles, and adjectives from today's explainer. You can see how these puzzle pieces fit together so perfectly now, right? So, here is the big question. What beautiful Italian sentence are you going to construct with these tools today? The foundation is entirely yours to build on. Keep practicing and ciao for now.